This is a True Crime in Real Time update from True Crime Today and the Hidden Killers podcast.
The December 4th murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson sent shockwaves through New York City, not only for its brazen nature, but for the political and public firestorm that followed. The alleged perpetrator, 26-year-old Luigi Mangione, was apprehended after a multi-day manhunt, and the case has since escalated into a broader debate about corporate privilege, public safety, and the allocation of government resources. In the aftermath of Thompson's death, sources revealed that Governor Kathy Hochul's office had considered creating a hotline specifically for CEOs to report security concerns. This alleged proposal ignited widespread outrage, particularly after details emerged that Mangione had been charged with terrorism for what Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg called a frightening, well-planned, targeted murder. As the state's political leadership scrambled to address the incident, questions swirled about whether protecting wealthy executives was being prioritized over addressing broader public safety concerns. According to reports, Hochul's administration was contemplating measures to reassure corporate leaders in the wake of the attack. Sources told CNN that these measures included a hotline for executives to directly report threats or security concerns to state authorities. Kathy Hochul, CEO of the Partnership for New York City, confirmed that a meeting with 175 companies and their security personnel had taken place, facilitated by Hochul's Director of Operations, Catherine Garcia. It's a demonstration that New York really has the most prepared and informed counterterrorism capacity in the country, Hochul said, emphasizing the state's commitment to protecting corporate interests. However, the backlash was swift. Hochul's press secretary, Avi Smalls, denied the existence of a hotline proposal, stating, "There is no CEO hotline, and that proposal was never under consideration by this administration." Despite this denial, the mere suggestion of such a measure drew ire from critics who saw it as emblematic of a system skewed in favor of the wealthy and powerful. On social media, users expressed outrage at what they perceived as a misuse of taxpayer dollars. Why the fuck would my tax dollars go to helping protect people who are more than capable of hiring private security? One user wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter. Another commenter quipped, "I don't seem to remember this kind of state response and resources going to NYC when the homicide rate spiked around 2022, but I guess that was just regular people." The sentiment echoed across the platform, with others questioning why the state appeared to prioritize corporate security over protections for schools and public spaces. This public outcry forced a closer examination of the December 4th incident and its broader implications. Mangione's alleged actions were chilling in their precision. According to authorities, he targeted Thompson outside a Midtown Manhattan hotel in a calculated attack designed to intimidate and shock. District Attorney Bragg described the murder as one of the most bustling parts of our city and emphasized its implications for public safety, noting that it endangered local residents, tourists, commuters, and business people just starting out on their day. The arrest of Mangione, a University of Pennsylvania graduate from a prominent Maryland family, added another layer of intrigue to the case. Police have yet to release a clear motive, but some reports suggest Mangione may have been grappling with personal issues, including a chronic back injury. His background and alleged actions have sparked widespread curiosity, particularly as his legal team, led by high-profile attorney Karen Friedman Agnifilo, prepares for a defense that will undoubtedly capture national attention. Agnifilo, whose husband Mark Agnifilo is representing embattled rapper Sean Diddy Combs in a separate legal matter, is no stranger to high-stakes cases. Amid the unfolding drama, the meeting with corporate leaders facilitated by Hochul's office has raised critical questions about the balance between corporate security and public safety. Hochul, speaking to Politico, framed the meeting as a necessary step in fostering collaboration between businesses and state counterterrorism officials. Hochul understood how serious the impact of both the killing and the hateful reaction to it is, and she wants to make sure that the state resources, specifically the domestic counterterrorism resources, are focused on being supportive, sharing information, Wild said. Yet, this rationale has done little to mollify critics who argue that such measures disproportionately benefit the wealthy. So I just file an LLC and get a special hotline and privileges? One critic sarcastically remarked online. Others pointed to the broader societal implications, questioning why similar resources were not mobilized during previous spikes in crime that primarily affected lower-income communities. The broader societal response has been no less revealing. For many, the idea of a hotline dedicated to CEOs, even if it was never formally proposed, has become a symbol of the disconnect between government priorities and the needs of ordinary citizens. In a city where economic inequality has become increasingly visible, the very notion of such a measure struck a raw nerve. Advocacy groups have seized upon the controversy to demand greater transparency and accountability in how public resources are allocated. For Mangione, the legal battle ahead will likely delve into his psychological state and potential motivations. The charges against him include not only murder, but also terrorism, a designation that Manhattan DA Bragg said was warranted given the attack's intent to cause shock, attention, and intimidation. Mangione's defense team faces an uphill battle in a case that has already attracted national attention and polarized public opinion. With the weight of public scrutiny on both the case and the political response, the stakes could not be higher. Adding further complexity to the situation is the role of media coverage. The murder and its aftermath have been the subject of extensive reporting, with news outlets dissecting every angle of the story, from the specifics of the crime to the broader societal questions it raises. The case has become a focal point for discussions about privilege, security, and governance. For some, the incident has highlighted the need for systemic change in how public safety is approached. For others, it has underscored the enduring challenges of balancing corporate interests with the well-being of the general population. As the legal proceedings continue, the broader questions raised by this case remain unresolved. Who deserves the protection of state resources in a society grappling with rising inequality? How should governments balance the needs of corporate entities with the safety and well-being of the general public? And what does this incident reveal about the intersection of privilege, security, and public trust? These questions strike at the heart of a debate that extends far beyond New York. They touch on the systemic inequities that define modern governance, the perception of who benefits from public resources, and the psychological toll of living in a society where safety often feels like a privilege rather than a right. As the story unfolds, it offers a stark reminder of the tensions that underlie efforts to address security in an increasingly divided world. The evolving narrative also poses a challenge for policymakers who must grapple with the complex realities of public safety in a diverse and unequal society. While the outrage over the alleged hotline has drawn attention to broader systemic issues, it has also highlighted the difficulties of addressing security concerns in a way that feels equitable and just. For Governor Hochul, the controversy represents both a political liability and an opportunity, a chance to demonstrate leadership in navigating the delicate balance between corporate interests and public welfare. Meanwhile, the families and communities affected by the December 4th murder continue to grapple with the immediate aftermath of the tragedy. For them, the broader debates about privilege and resource allocation are deeply personal, underscoring the human cost of a system that often seems to prioritize the few over the many. As they await justice, their voices serve as a poignant reminder of what is at stake in this ongoing saga. In the coming months, the case against Luigi Mangione will likely take center stage, providing further insights into the circumstances surrounding Brian Thompson's murder and the motivations behind it. The trial will undoubtedly be closely watched, not only for its legal implications, but also for what it reveals about the broader societal issues that have come to define this case. As the story continues to unfold, it promises to remain a powerful lens through which to examine the complexities of modern governance, the challenges of public safety, and the enduring quest for justice in an unequal world.
In a world where the darkest secrets lie just beneath the surface.
They said it was an accident, but the evidence says otherwise.
Where hidden killers roam unnoticed in the shadows.
I think you would definitely be looking at a blend of toxic, very bad narcissistic personality traits, and they will be vengeful and possibly resort to violence.
Join Tony Bruschi as he uncovers the truth behind the most chilling cases.
They said it was an accident, but the evidence clearly says otherwise.
Each episode, we dig deep into the minds of those who commit the unthinkable.
To your point on narcissism, he thinks in his own mind how witty he is.
Yeah.
But he lost that jury. I was done with him in 2 minutes.
From unsolved mysteries to infamous crimes.
Geez, you've just talked about how you've taught yourself how to do everything under the sun. I bet you did a YouTube video, how to best kill somebody with a knife.
Hidden Killers with Tony Bruschi takes you where few dare to go.
How does someone with such a dark secret go unnoticed for so long?
With multiple new episodes every single day.
We're not just telling stories, we're seeking justice.
Listen now on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Hidden Killers with Tony Bruschi.